I've always believed there's a primal instinct inside us, something ancient, older than memory, older than logic, that knows when we're not alone. Not the kind of not alone where you see another hiker on the trail or hear a distant voice. I mean that visceral, spine-prickling tension in the air that makes your skin crawl and your breath quicken for no clear reason. That exact feeling always hits me in the same damn place. There's a specific stretch, about 3 kilometers long, on one of my favorite hiking trails. I've walked that route several times each year, trying to tell myself it's just nature playing tricks on me, just wind and animals and shadows. But deep down, I know better. That place is wrong. It's not just the atmosphere, though that alone is enough to make most people uneasy. It's the way the forest morphs every time. Trees don't just fall from storms. They collapse in unnatural ways, as if something deliberately shifts the path when no one's looking. I've come across deer so frequently that I started to think they were waiting for me watching. Wild boar tracks seemed to multiply with each visit, fresh and deep in the mud, like they had just passed through moments before. The ground always feels softer there too, like something buried beneath is breathing. So whenever I reach that segment, I pick up my pace. I don't admire the view. I don't stop to drink water. I just move. Fast. Heart pounding, eyes darting, every step louder than it should be. But the reward has always been worth the anxiety. Once you cross that nightmare corridor, the forest opens into a secluded valley, like something out of a twisted fairy tale. The trees part just enough to let golden light filter through. The air shifts, and suddenly the tension fades. It's like stepping into another world, one that's beautiful, peaceful, safe. That was the goal on my last hike too. Push through the dread, reach the sanctuary. Same as always. But this time, something was off from the very first step. The chill ran deeper, the silence heavier. Every twig snap in the underbrush felt like a warning. I walked faster than ever, ignoring the tightness in my chest and the instinct screaming at me to stop. Then, out of nowhere, a deer stepped onto the trail. It didn't just cross. It blocked my way, still, watching me. Its eyes locked onto mine, and I swear it knew. It didn't twitch, didn't move. It just stood there like a gatekeeper, silently daring me to turn back. The message wasn't subtle. You don't belong here. Leave. But I'd come too far. I was nearly out. I couldn't bring myself to backtrack through that cursed stretch. So I made a reckless decision. I veered off the trail into the thick forest, hoping to circle around. Branches clawed at my clothes, roots twisted under my boots, but I forced my way through until I finally emerged back on the trail beyond the deer. I thought that was it. I had outsmarted the omen, beat the warning. But something had changed. Even as I stepped into the valley, I couldn't shake the feeling of being followed. Every shadow felt alive. I looked over my shoulder too many times to count, always expecting to see something, someone close behind. But there was nothing. Still, the unease never left me. It clung to me like a second skin. Only after a few more kilometers did the anxiety begin to ease. I let myself think about resting, maybe finding a log to sit on, maybe finally eating the granola bar I'd ignored earlier. That thought didn't last, because my worst-case scenario hit me in the face like a slap. Rainfall from the past weeks had swollen the little stream that usually trickled alongside the trail into a raging, ice-cold river. It had burst its banks and drowned the entire path ahead. I stood at the edge, staring at the churning water. There was no way through, not without risking hypothermia or worse. And I knew the terrain. I was in a steep, narrow valley with no alternate routes. There was only one way out, back through the place I had just barely escaped. And it was getting dark. Fast. Winter shadows stretch quick, and I had maybe 2 hours of light left. The hike had taken over 3 to get here. So I ran. I didn't care about the branches whipping at my face, the screeches of startled birds, the rustling in the brush beside me. I didn't care if deer or boar or whatever the hell else was lurking nearby heard me. I just ran. My mind focused on only 3 things: my car, my keys, and the sound of that sweet metal click unlocking the door. That was my salvation, my finish line. I didn't stop to breathe. I didn't stop to think. And I'll never go back to that part of the forest again. Something lives there. Something watches. And next time, I might not be fast enough.